Next up we have the EOTech 518-0, which does not have any night vision settings, so we are on the lowest daylight setting at this point. And you can tell it's actually pretty strong. So I would say I would be cautious to use it for a long period of time. However, if I comparing to my IR laser, it's actually of similar type of intensity. So I would say I would not use this combination for too long of a time out of the fear of damaging or burn some elements, pixels on my tube. However, for short engagement, I would say it's still doable. If we put the IR light on, of course it's very strong, so it will survive all types of floodlights, direct or indirect, but again, I think it's probably a bit too strong. What's interesting is next up with the XPS 2-2, which is my older EOTech since 2012. On the lowest daylight setting, actually it's a very faint view, so on the second setting it's actually very good, so it's almost like I have two night vision settings, although by specs there are none. So you can tell that my lowest daylight settings on the XPS 2-2 are much weaker than the newer 518. But actually I like this because this is actually the setup I'm using. So on my night vision rifle I have the EOTech on this model, the XPS 2-2, because also at night vision I like to have the circle around the dots. So with all the respect for aim points and other red dots, I think at night it helps me to have that circle and not confuse my dot with other pixels on the screen or with other reflections or other lasers from other people. If we compare now the laser, you can see my high laser, it's still IR, everything is IR I'm doing here. It's much stronger than the lowest daylight setting for my XPS 2-2 EOTech. So overall, I would say great night vision performance from an optic that does not have any official night vision mode or settings. And I have been using this for a while, so if you think there is some durability issue, I have experienced no issue with my tube. Next up we have the Vortex Razo AMG UH-1 on the lowest daylight setting. This one also doesn't have night vision, and in this case I think they are right. The reticle is not usable for night vision, it actually blinks. I don't know if this is an issue between their technology and the refresh rate on my tube. On the second daylight setting it has a faster blinking, which you see on video. However, for the eye, the second setting was not perceived as blinking, so I thought when I recorded the video that the second setting was smooth. It only shows on the video now as blinking, so I would say I would not recommend the AMG UH-1 to use with night vision equipment. Of course, in a case of an emergency you could, but there are other better options out there, or just buy some equipment that has dedicated night vision. However, for our tests, to stay within $500, there was no holographic sight under 500 with night vision.